Barcelona's January transfer plans are facing major pressure as injuries, negotiations and internal disagreements shake up the club's strategy. From the stalled pursuit of Egyptian wonderkid Hamza Abdul Karim, to Hansi Flick's growing concerns over Barcelona's thin defensive depth following Andreas Christensen's ACL injury, big decisions are looming at Camp Nou. With Deco refusing to enter the January market, despite Flick pushing for reinforcements, Barca are now being linked with names like Nico Schlotterbeck, Brazilian prodigy Luis Benedetti, and even a shock return for La Masia graduate Mika Marmol. So who could Barcelona realistically sign? Will Flick get the defensive reinforcement he wants, or will financial limits once again dictate Barca's future? Let's break down all the latest Barcelona transfer news and targets. Barcelona's interest in Egyptian talent Hamza Abdul Karim has been made public in recent weeks, but it seems they will find it difficult to strike a deal for the teenage forward. Abdul Karim, who turns 18 next week, is wanted for a January transfer move to strengthen their affiliate side, Barca Athletic. Last week it was revealed that Barcelona had made an offer to Al Ahly for Abdul Karim, which could reach as high as €4 million. It was a loan deal with an option to buy though, and only €1 million of it was a guaranteed fee, with the rest being available in objectives. Al Ahly have turned it down. Al Ahly tell Barcelona to double offer. It was also noted that Al Ahly were not particularly happy with the terms offered by Barcelona, and it seems there is some way between the two in negotiations. Coroplus, via Sport, claimed that Al Ahly are open to the loan deal until the summer, but would require a buy option of €8 million, of which €2 million would be guaranteed, double the initial offer. The Catalan Daily add that at least initially, they had no intention of paying more than €4 million for Abdul Karim, given he is yet to make his way in professional football. Equally, Barcelona are only willing to cede 10% in terms of a sell-on fee, while Al Ahly wanted 20%. This part is described as non-negotiable for the Catalans. Abdelkarim keen on Barcelona move. The teenage number 9 has received interest from Olympique Lyon and Bayern Munich, but Abdul Karim seems keen to move to Barcelona. Last week it was noted that he was pushing for a move to Barcelona, and now Fabrizio Romano has reported that he has already given the green light on personal terms. Barca Athletic are currently in the 4th tier, and Juliano Belletti has been tasked with returning the affiliate side to Primera RFEF, but is currently without his two main strikers Victor Barbera and Oscar Guistau, through injury. They sit 4 points off league leaders Poblenz in 5th, with just one automatic promotion spots available. Barcelona have been operating with what on paper has been a thin squad for the past few seasons, and they have no intention of adding more depth in the January transfer window. That is despite concerns from Hansi Flick. Danish defender Andreas Christensen has suffered a partial anterior cruciate ligament tear, and is set to be out for around 3 to 4 months depending on his recovery. This is the second time that Christensen will be spending close to half the season on the touchline. If that prognosis is confirmed, then Barcelona could use the emergency injury rule to register a new player using up to 80% of the amount of Christensen's wages. Barcelona decide against January action. Despite growing concerns inside the club, the message coming out of Barcelona is clear. Deco does not plan to activate the January transfer window. The sporting director is unconvinced by the players currently available and believes none of them are good enough to justify a move, so Barcelona are set to stay quiet this winter. This stance directly clashes with Hansi Flick's view. After Andreas Christensen's injury, the German coach made it clear he wanted to sit down with Deco to discuss potential reinforcements. According to reports from Sport, Flick feels the squad needs at least one more defensive option to cope with the demands of the season. However, this isn't the first time Flick's concerns have gone unanswered. When Inigo Martinez left in the summer, the coaching staff pushed for a replacement, but the club ultimately decided they lacked the financial flexibility to act. Now, history appears to be repeating itself, with Flick once again forced to work with a stretched squad as Barcelona choose caution over activity in the transfer market. Deco remains firm that he will only move for a player in January with the quality to be a starter, but Flick feels that the squad is already being pushed to its limits. Barcelona's defensive depth. With Christensen out long-term, Flick has just 6 natural defenders at his disposal. Pau Cubarsí, Eric Garcia, Ronald Araujo, Alejandro Bald, Gerard Martin and Jules Kounde. On top of that, Flick has been using Garcia in midfield more often. Earlier in the season, young left-back Jofre Torrens had been in the first-team squad more often, and Marc Casado can be used at right-back, but Flick is certainly working without much room for maneuver. 3 transfer targets for Barcelona to replace injured Andreas Christensen. Barcelona's center-back depth is incredibly thin heading into 2026. Barcelona could be forced to look for reinforcements in January following the devastating news of Andreas Christensen's injury. Following a strong showing against Guadalajara in the Copa del Rey, the Danish center-back partially tore his ACL during a training session and is expected to be sidelined for 3 to 4 months. Now, Pau Cubarsí and Eric Garcia are the only natural center-backs at Hansi Flick's disposal, at least until Ronald Araujo rejoins the team following his leave of absence. In recent games, La Masia left-back Gerard Martin has thrived playing alongside Cubarsí in the heart of defense, and Jules Koundé is also capable of playing centrally. Still, Barcelona are playing with fire, and another defensive injury could seriously compromise the team's title aspirations heading into the second half of the term. Flick admitted he will meet with sporting director Deco to assess Barca's strategy in the upcoming transfer window. Significant moves weren't contemplated, but Christensen's injury could force Barcelona to reconsider their approach. If Barcelona truly want to fight for every piece of silverware available this season, then investing on a defender during the January window could be a wise move. Here are 3 players Barcelona could potentially target to reinforce their backline. Barcelona have been heavily linked with Borussia Dortmund center-back Nico Schlotterbeck since last summer. The towering German is among the names Barcelona were expected to pursue for the 2026-27 season, but now the club might opt to accelerate their pursuit. Schlotterbeck would be an ideal partner for Cubarsí, the perfect heir to fill the void created by Inigo Martinez's sudden departure to the Saudi Pro League back in August. The 26-year-old is the undisputed leader of Dortmund's defense and has blossomed into a truly elite player. The fact that he's left-footed makes him even more appealing for Barcelona, as it would allow Cubarsí to play as a right center-back, where he's at his best. The downside is that Dortmund will likely demand a hefty price to let Schlotterbeck leave, especially mid-season and with other suitors also interested. It's almost impossible to envision Barcelona spending big on transfers given their precarious financial situation. Although it would be a dream signing, Barcelona would probably have to wait until next summer to seriously pursue Schlotterbeck, focusing instead on cheaper, more attainable targets in January. Luis Benedetti has spent 2025 establishing himself as one of the best young talents in Brazil, and Barcelona are said to be keeping a watchful eye on the 19-year-old Palmeiras center-back. Benedetti is a physical force, standing at 6 feet 6 inches, he's an absolute aerial menace in set pieces. But his athleticism and ability on the ball are also very solid, a rarity for a player that tall. He's still a raw prospect, but the potential is evident. Making a move for Benedetti in January would see Barcelona add not only much-needed depth at the position, but also acquire a player that could develop into an absolute star. It's unlikely he would play a major role this term, but he could ease the burden on other defenders while he continues to mature. Barcelona acquired Vitor Roque from Palmeiras in 2024, marking the last time the club completed a transfer in January. Replicating that formula 2 years later should be in consideration. Hansi Flick gives the green light for ex-Barcelona youngster to return. Barcelona head coach Hansi Flick has given his blessing to the return of a former member of the club's defensive ranks. The player in question? Mika Marmol. Stopper Marmol is for his part currently plying his trade in Spanish football's second tier, on the books of Las Palmas. The 24-year-old, though, also boasts plenty of top-flight experience from his time in Gran Canaria. Not only that, but Marmol is a Barcelona Academy graduate, who at one point earlier in his career even broke into the first-team dynamic in Catalonia's capital. The Blaugrana maintained 50% of the Spaniard's playing rights as per the terms of his sale, meaning Marmol could be brought back for a cut price fee. And if the latest word stemming from the media early this week is anything to go by, then such a move on the part of Deco and company is seemingly a real possibility. As per a report from Fischages, after Andreas Christensen was ruled out long-term through a knee injury, Mika Marmol has become one of the key names in Barcelona's winter transfer market. Hansi Flick has given the green light to seriously consider his signing. The German manager believes his profile fits the team's current needs. Barcelona are walking a dangerous tightrope heading into the second half of the season. With Christensen sidelined, limited defensive depth, and Deco standing firm against January spending, Hansi Flick is being forced to stretch his squad to its limits. While a blockbuster move for Nico Schlotterbeck feels unlikely until summer, more realistic options like Luis Benedetti or a cut-price return for Mika Marmol could offer much-needed relief. Meanwhile, the stalled deal for Hamza Abdul Karim highlights Barcelona's ongoing struggle to balance ambition with financial reality. One thing is clear, any further injury could seriously derail Barca's title hopes. Will the club act before it's too late, or will they gamble once again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who should Barcelona sign in January? Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for daily Barcelona transfer updates, breaking news and tactical analysis.